So
we're live. Good morning, everybody. Don't know if it's still acceptable to say Happy New Year in the second week of Feb, but I'm going to do it anyway. So Happy New Year for those that haven't spoken to us this year. So we host a series of LinkedIn Lives before Christmas, which were really successful, had a lot of fun, and so we thought we'd do them all again. So we've got 6 guests lined up over the next 7 or 8 weeks, starting today. So I'm not going to go through all of the usual ConeX news this time. We're just going to go straight into it, and we're going to go around the room, very quick introductions, and then we're going to hand over to our host today. What I will say for anyone watching live, please feel free to ask any questions or comment in the live stream link, and we'll make sure the questions get asked, and we'll have a nice kind of roundtable discussion as we go. So, Rebecca, I'm going to pick on you first. Do you want to give a very quick who you are, where you are, and what you do?
Yeah, good morning. I'm Rebecca Galley. I'm the Managing Director of Hydroscand in the UK. We are a provider of hose and fittings to customers in the UK, part of a Swedish organisation. Right now I'm in Coventry at a trade show, but taking time out to join in this conversation this morning. And I've been invited because of what our company's been doing with video marketing.
Brilliant. And live from a trade show. I think that's a first. Angela, if you want to introduce yourself.
Morning, everybody. I'm sure everybody knows me anyway. I'm Angela. I'm working with Sam on the ConeX Portal. We're bringing a great deal of collaboration to UK manufacturers, and we want to work with more of you.
Perfect. Adam.
Yeah, morning everyone. Adam Payne. I think most of you will probably know me from the ConeX side as well anyway. But yes, I have Factory IQ, I have New Way Growth, TCM UK Limited, IDG events, as well as other stuff as well. So yeah, that's me.
Multiple hats.
Yeah.
And finally, I'll introduce Daryl. So I'll hand over to you to give a quick overview of who you are, what you do, and the floor is yours from there.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sam. Hello, everyone. Thank you. And yeah, it's a privilege to be part of ConeX and everything that the team is building. I think it's an exciting opportunity for everyone that gets involved. And yeah, I feel privileged to be part of Sam and everything that goes with that. So as I said, my name's Daryl Cygler. I wear multiple hats, as I'm sure a lot of people do these days. But primarily, I am an owner of a manufacturing and engineering company actually in Australia. But on the background of that, we had some success with video marketing. And in the context of today's call, it's something I was hoping to introduce to people in the manufacturing space within the UK. So effectively, we help manufacturing and engineering marketing teams introduce, launch, start and scale video marketing within their business. So they're able to show more of what they do and how they do it as and when it happens in-house, to generate that thing we all love, which is leads, sales, and growth. Simple as that. So I guess with that, I probably should just go into a bit of a story, if I can, and really just give context to where this all started. So as I said earlier, I am a part of a team, and we have a big manufacturing engineering organization in Australia. We manufacture large scale fuel storage tanks. So anything from about 1 meter cubed up to the size of 40-foot shipping containers. And it's really for businesses that, need to actually store large volumes of fuel. Now, a big part of my role within that business is to show what we do, market the business, simple as that. And I wanted to do it with video. And I guess I do what a lot of people do when it comes to the video side of things. When you start to get into it, is, I went to a video production company because I thought that was the only way. And what I'd like to say today is there is an alternative way that you can actually get started and scale to actually get into the video marketing side of things. The video production companies are great at what they do, and they are very slick, and you can get some great show reels and some very corporate profiles that, you know, serve their purpose, and they are perfect for what that role is. But ultimately, video production companies might come in and do a particular job for you, and that might be on 1 day or 2 days, but ultimately they will leave, and you're running a business 365 days a year. And this was something that I found I wanted to address when we went down that route. We had a video production came in, they did the recording for us. We had got 1 or 2 videos, which was great. We were happy with the videos, so on and so forth. But I found that process quite disruptive in terms of we had to stop everything we were doing on the day, you know, set up all the shooting and so on and so forth. And I just didn't see it as a process that we would be able to scale, essentially. And that was my challenge. And so I just sort of parked it there. This was back in 2016, actually, as it goes. And then, yeah, I mean, fast forward to 2018, and I just happened to be out and about, if you like, in the streets of London, and I came across some BBC journalists, and they were filming a news story for what turned out to be sort of the 6 o'clock news, primetime news. But they were actually filming it on their smartphone. And I was quite taken aback by this, because, you know, you have this perception of, you know, primetime news, you know, traditionally being quite big, expensive productions, high quality, high value cameras. And just to see these guys filming with their smartphone, I was really like, okay, I need to know more about this. So I let them do their thing, very much so. But after they were finished, I just said, look, you know, are you telling me that what you've filmed today is essentially going out on the 6 o'clock news? And they said, yeah, these phones are amazing in terms of what you can do. And this at the time was an iPhone 6S, I think they were using. And I just thought, wow, okay, I had a bit of a light bulb moment there. And I just thought, well, if these global news stations are producing video content with their smartphones going out on primetime news, there has to be an opportunity there for business owners to be able to utilize that approach for them to market their business with video. And from that moment on, I was all in. I was like, yeah, I need to know more about this. And I soon found out it was it's quite a big thing. You know, more and more news stations, mobile journalists, or mojos as they're called, are adopting this as a process to be able to capture and show video on the fly. And if I may, I just want to give you a little sort of 30-second, 45-second clip of quite a well-known mobile journalist that is producing half-an-hour news segments for primetime news, all on his mobile phone. And just to give you a little bit of context of, you know, what is possible and the quality of the video content, if I may. Is that all right just to share that in?
Yep.
I'm going to work with us here. Let's hope this all goes to plan and you can hear the volume, the music. Right, share this. So I'm hoping you can see my YouTube screen.
Yep, looks good to me.
Can you hear that?
Can't, unfortunately.
Okay.
No, unfortunately, you can't.
All right, let's try and stop this. Let's try it again. Share screen. Share screen.
What we can do is play it through, and then we'll put the link in the comments so everyone can watch it.
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll do that. But what I will do is I'll just give you
Unless you want to commentate.
No, I think it's better if you watch it. It just gives it more sort of impetus in terms of what it's all about. But what I
think you know, even if you know, even in watching the movie, you can see what the capabilities are of using a mobile phone with seeing the video anyway without the sound.
Yeah, I think so. what I would do, so this just gives a little bit of context, if I may. So if you like, this is some screenshots of where are we? So these are some screenshots of some moments where I found that they were using iPhone footage. So this is an actual interview with our beloved Prime Minister. And this was a combination of iPhone footage and actual professional cameras, iPhone and Filmic Pro with professional cameras. This one over here on my right, again, is, I think this segment was shot with an iPhone, and this traditionally is a very low shot, so you could put the iPhone down on the floor on the platform because they're at a train station. And, you know, this lady here went live with an iPhone and actually using the standard sort of iPhone mic into her earpiece. And that's something that's quite amazing, I think, again, just to see this sort of footage of people going in. And I mean, this one was done from COP26, and she's up at Glasgow, and she was using an iPhone 13 in that instance, and that went out on BBC News on a Sunday lunchtime edition. And I'm just astounded, really, in terms of you know, this practice that's going on. And it's not the first time that industries borrow from other industries in terms of the way that they can use things. And I just think this is a great opportunity for manufacturers to be able to take those practices, if you like, and be able to introduce that into their own business so they can document what video is all about for them.
Do you think, Daryl, as well, you know, I mean, you said that originally you had a video company come in and video within your manufacturing premises, but the video company don't really know about your business, do they? So they have to be guided by what you point them to or what they think looks good. Whereas when you're a manufacturer working within your business, you can see the exciting bits of it and you can capture it when it happens. So it's much better for manufacturers to be able to do that themselves, don't you think, rather than actually bringing an outside company in?
Yes, I mean, ultimately, you know your business better than anyone else, and ultimately, you know your customer discussions and, you know, challenges, the things that always come up better than anyone else as well. So, understanding all those elements, if you're able to, if you like, start to document that from a visual point of view, it shows a lot of value in terms of addressing those prospective customers' issues at the, you know, at the initial stage of them understanding more about what you're about. The fact that you always have a camera on you adds a lot of value. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are processes and there's best practices in terms of how to structure this from a storytelling point of view and how to bring it all together. And I guess that's sort of what I've pulled out from all those learnings that I've taken from my business, if you like, and introduced this sort of lean video marketing approach. It's very much underpinned by the smartphone, because you have those moments, you know, that if you see something on the factory floor that you think, oh, okay, that's a great example of this happening that addresses this particular question. Hey, let's just quickly capture that. Let's frame it. Let's package it up so we can position it as a story, a value add for the customer and a value add for us as a business in terms of what we can present. And it's so tangible. It's a visual thing, you know, it's not you discussing it, it's you showing it. And there's so much value to that.
Yeah.
I think there's, sorry, Sam, go on.
I was just going to say we discussed this a little bit last night, didn't we? On your
we did, yeah. Because the thing for me is I do all the mobile phones are set up for creator content. So when you're out and about, they're the Instagram people, the Facebook, everybody that's the creator side, the creator community. So the mobile phone is a fantastic editing software, and I edit everything that you see from a film point of view, a video point of view, on my phone. I don't use any other software than my phone because it is easy, simple, and quick, and you can splice it and dice it however you want. The other side of it as well with manufacturing, for me, is that you don't Manufacturers don't generally get time to do stuff like this, and they don't generally think on the hop, but they carry a phone. Now, you know, if I look at Twitter is probably one of the main areas where manufacturers are out of all the platforms, other than LinkedIn. And Twitter is about the unexpected. So if you're out there and you're in your head in a tool, or you know you're in a die, and we were talking about this with Phil last night from Three-Way Presses, and you know, and he says, just take a video of it, bang, out. It's on Twitter or it's on LinkedIn, and he's getting tens of thousands of views on it. You know, it's that unexpected. Just being able to take a 10-30-second shot. I don't generally, you know, bother about the editing because I'm interested with manufacturing. I'm interested in actually seeing what's happening within the tool, within the die, within whatever you're doing, you know. So yeah, they're a phenomenal tool and so underutilized for this site, but they are built for creators.
I think people often forget they have a camera in their pocket, all the time.
One of the big.
Sorry, go on, Rebecca. I was going to say, be interesting to hear from your point of view.
One of the challenges that we had initially was trying to think about what is actually interesting. You know, from my team, their day-to-day job is satisfying the customer, and that is what they're focused on 100% of the time. And then we have one marketing person who sort of calls them all round to ask what's been going on, and then she will say, well, actually, that's really exciting. Can we come and get pictures of that? Can we come and get film of that? You know, why didn't we? But the team just doesn't think of it day to day. So I don't know how, Daryl, you might give advice on how companies or leaders of businesses could think about actually what is exciting to film.
I mean, you're absolutely right, Rebecca, and I think this is crucial. You have to have buy-in almost like at a company level. It's making all the individuals part of the whole and making them see that, you know, what we do here is extraordinary, you know, because the ordinary stuff that people are using every day, the fact that it is ordinary and the fact that people do it, they just use it, they accept it, is extraordinary in the fact that it is what it is. So the way I like to do it is, you know, get them to buy into that, get them to understand it. We have a structure that we follow where, if you like, that marketing manager is essentially the brand gatekeeper. But a good way to look at it is, if you make your employees part of that discussion, they understand what it's about, you explain, you know, what are these key points that our customers are talking about. You have that ability to be able to capture more things. And I sometimes look at it, I mean, it's a pretty broad statement, but, you know, if you have 10, 20, 30 employees within your business, essentially you have 10, 20, 30 cameras that can show what you do and how you do it.
Absolutely.
And I think that is incredibly powerful. Yes, I would like to say, you know, we have to follow a bit of a structured approach. We just don't want to go out there randomly just shooting things left, right, and center. We want to have a little bit of training in the first instance and get them buying into what is the overall approach. But if people can see that, understand it, you know, straight away the whole approach to it changes. And, you know, that marketing manager may not be in the position where she's going to them to say, oh, well, can we capture that after the fact? But they're coming to her saying, look, this came up, I recorded it, this is it, can you use it? And she'll go, wow, okay, fantastic.
So that's where we've got to now. So that's the stage we're at now. But the next opportunity is to have more people who are comfortable being on camera. So that's one of now the sort of critical elements is we've got a small group of people who are superb because they're so knowledgeable and they're so passionate about the company. And when they go in front of the camera, you know, they give such a brilliant impression of who we are and what we do, but there just aren't enough of them who are willing to do it.
Yeah, I mean, video can be a pretty terrifying medium. You know, it's yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of internal things going on.
We've all been there, haven't we? I mean,
exactly.
We try and get encouraged to make video, but I've tried to do it. I hate the sound of my voice. I hate the way I look, and I think we all pretty much feel that way about us. And it's just getting over that, isn't it? And I do admire people who can stand in front of video and talk.
Yeah, there's no easy way. You've just got to get in the game. You know, the more you do it, the easier it gets. It's and a big part of what we say is imperfect action is action. and action is progress, and progress builds momentum. So, you know, just small steps.
That's the advice that I'm given. You know, so we do work with a company, but the advice I'm given is to just do it, just absolutely just do it.
Yeah.
But then you do finish and think, I could have done that better, I could have done that differently, and so on.
I think one of the things you have to be aware of within a business, though, is that because I'm all for getting people involved with the social media aspect and the branding and what's happening within the business, but you should have a media policy within the business around how you operate the branding, the tone, the language, what is allowed, what's not allowed, and that needs to be trained out within the individual side as well. So you're not getting a negativity around, you know, certain things. The other thing I was going to say was, oh God, it was. A lot of people don't like being in front of the camera, but we've all done it. We've all started off, and it is about just, you know, what makes you feel uncomfortable is growth, and that's what you want. So if it's uncomfortable, it's growth. So
it's,
you know, you've got to grit your teeth here and go through it. But yeah, you know, coming back to it from the mobile point of view, is that they are so easy to use, and I if you've got the number of people that are signed in and you've got your policies around, it wouldn't bother me necessarily them posting straight off on their own self sort of like understanding, knowing full well that you've got this process and it can be monitored, because the more you can get out there from an awareness point of view, top of the funnel point of view, the better it will be.
That's what I was going to actually ask you both. Because obviously, you know, within these companies, there are employees with cameras who can take pictures, who can take videos. What would your kind of guidelines be in terms of how do they share on behalf of the company rather than the company sharing? I know it comes down to internal policy and stuff, but I'm just interested.
Yeah, because the thing for me on this one is you've got NDAs. So non-disclosure agreements that you may have with your customers and the products. So, you know, there's businesses I go into where I'm not allowed to see the product at all. I have to be escorted. So you do have to be aware of that from that side. So again, it may be that you could just use a machine side. What we've done before is had an Excel spreadsheet that is just on a shared document, and they can just drop in to say, these are the photographs, this is the message I was going to put, and then it just gets okayed at some point, and then they zoom it off. There are platforms out there you can do that anyway. I think Monday.com or you know, Trello might even be another one that you could utilize for that. And just saying, I've got a social media box, and you drop the post in, it gets okayed by your marketing manager, bang, it's gone. And they put it out. It doesn't necessarily have to be at that point in time. When you took it, it could be a day or so later. But it's still that marketing aspect, that branding aspect. That's just my opinion. I think there are a number of platforms out there you can do that with. So you're communicating with everybody, and you've got oversight of what's happening.
Yeah, I'd agree with Adam there. I mean, just quickly, you know, you have your brand gatekeepers in the first instance. You just have your processes, you have your brand gatekeepers, and it's a flowing process. You know, you start with your restrictions in place and you monitoring everything, and those individuals, if they step up, they know their boundaries, they know their branding guidelines, they post content, you just go from there. It's very much an iterative process.
So Daryl, am I right in thinking that you're running a course in smartphone video?
Yeah, so we're sort of, I mean, this is a thing because, you know, over the last 2 years, I've implemented this sort of lean video marketing approach to our business, and it's gone really, really well. We've sort of, we lead with it quite a lot now. And I just thought, well, this is something that I would really like to offer back to other individual manufacturers that, you know, hopefully they get the same sort of experience, uptake, learning from it as well. And yeah, I mean, it's, as I said, we wear multiple hats. So I've just thought, you know, I want to give back something to the industry. So I've just launched a lean video marketing program. It's a 10-week program, and it's face-to-face workshops. It's online training and support calls over those 10 weeks. And the idea is here that, you know, we want to work with manufacturing and engineering marketing teams with that vision to get them into the process of video marketing. And at the end of their 10 weeks, you know, they're going to be in a position where they're confident to film, edit, and share video content, quality video content, into their social media platforms, and also set up systems that can sort of guarantee, nothing's guaranteed, of course, but lead them into a more streamlined approach to getting sort of more sales leads and growth of the business.
No, it sounds great, and I can really see how useful it can be for manufacturers. I mean, from my point of view, I'm sort of even thinking about the manufacturing festivals that I keep trying to promote. A great opportunity to take video and take it into schools and show students what goes on in manufacturing facilities, rather than them just thinking it's a dirty place to work. We can actually show them, do you know what, this is a great place, look at everything that's going on. So I can see some really good possibilities for this.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I think exactly that. Festivals, exhibitions, Rebecca, you're at one now and you're on the stands. There's opportunities there. You've got a phone in your back pocket, to potentially, okay, you can show your stand and you can do various, if you like, feedback of the day. But, why not take it to another level? If there's a bit of a downtime, you could start to do little on-site interviews in the stand. You can start to leverage other stuff that can be utilized after the event is finished, and drip feed that out after the event as well.
We'll be
I'll have a go.
We'll be looking at your videos today, Rebecca. So before we kind of tie this up and finish, best way to get in contact with you and how to find out a bit more information, and where we can see some of the videos and examples of what you've been doing.
I think just give me a shout on LinkedIn. Daryl Cygler, simple as. Message me. There's a website, Smartphone Video Marketing, but by all means, just make contact in the first instance. And if you want to know more, I'd be more than happy to help. Perfect.
Sounds good to me. I think there needs to be a lot of interest in this, because it's it's something that's so easy to do, and it is available to. I don't know what the stats are on how many people have a smartphone at the moment.
Yeah, the thing I like to look at is, you can probably see a lot of old phones on my wall at the back behind me, and if we knew where the phones were going to go back then, we would have jumped on it a lot earlier. So I'm all about where are the phones going in the future. I've seen some stuff that is pretty amazing, but they are going to be with us, and I think we're going to be able to do some pretty amazing things. And I just would like to have that in my arsenal, put it that way.
Brilliant. Well, we'll wrap that up there. I know Rebecca's got plenty of networking to go and do, and I'm sure everyone's busy for the rest of the day. So thank you all for attending. Thank you for those watching live. We have recorded this session, so we will be adding it and taking snips from it and sharing it far and wide from here on out. From me, thank you very much, and we will see you next week. So I'll post later this week about the next session that we've got on Tuesday afternoon next week. So thank you very much, everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.